In today's news, Telecom scavenger hunt winners announced. Fraser calls for the UK to pay for repatriations owed to indigenous Virgin Islanders. Premier says he did not consult the Speaker prior to her rejecting Fahie's request to be excused from the House of Assembly. By-election in District 1 is likely to happen, says Premier Wheatley. Departments are still determining their needs to fulfill the COI recommendation, and the territory's infrastructure must be kept up to speed, says the Honourable Malone. Officially, one has been charged as inquiries continue into burglaries on Virgin Gorda. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my city life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Friday, July 29th of 2022. A happy Festival Friday to each and every one of you. I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. We trust that each of you had an amazing week, and we thank you so much for tuning in. Continuing on, and rather beginning on our newscast on the local scene, residents can expect the same great experience of the Coney Island activities of the past emancipation festivities during this year's Funland, which will be part of the Bernard Yampi Nibs Festival. As explained by Vice Chairman of the Festival and Fairs Committee, Mr. Birch Letsum, the name change this year came about because of some unforeseen difficulties, which he said resulted in authorities being unable to procure the Coney Island-style attractions that the festival has been well known for.
We have been having negotiations with some companies since I got into the seat, and those negotiations ultimately didn't end in us making the decision or getting through to getting those over here, but we partnered with quite a few local companies to provide entertainment for persons on hand. So you can definitely expect to see Funland in the vendor area of the village. Funland or Coney Island, or just having rides. It's a big part of the village experience, and that's one of the things that we could not leave out at all.
According to Letsum, it was seen as only fitting that the activity be given a name that would be representative of what patrons should expect.
The change in name, I mean, I just think is always important for people to understand and manage expectations. So referring to it as Funland and not particularly Coney Island, it begs a question. So when you ask, well, hey, well, what's Funland? Then you can say, hey, we have a bunch of local companies, Gaming Land, Island Racers, Island Breeze, and more to come. They are now the backbone of our amusement in there. So just didn't want to use the same name of Coney Island, seeing that we don't have the traditional Coney Island rides.
Residents of all ages are welcome to the free activity, where they can expect numerous attractions and confections, including but not limited to go-kart racing, train rides, trampoline, basketball shooting, arcade games, cotton candy, and candy apples. Letsum said while the activity has already launched, efforts are ongoing to increase its capacity by adding more attractions throughout the weekend.
Today and into the weekend, there's actually going to be, look out for it. We'll probably pass the information on ahead to the media, but we're going to be having some things that might happen through the day. I don't want to necessarily speak on it right now because they weren't able to open yesterday, but I'm hoping that we're going to get a slide and some additional like bouncy castles and some other games that will be opening this evening, Friday, and throughout the weekend.
Adjustments made in 2019 to facilitate the smooth and efficient flow of activities following a concert on the western side of the village resulted in the Coney Island event being relocated. However, Lettsome said that this year it is back to its original layout on the eastern side of the festival village. Members of the public are urged to patronize the activities and to connect with the Festival and Fairs Committee on social media for updates throughout the season. Opposition leader, the Honorable Julian Fraser, RA, and representative for the 3rd District, is calling for the British government to pay off for the repatriations owed to Virgin Islanders. Fraser made this appeal during the opening ceremony of the Bernard Yampi Nibs Festival on Wednesday night at the festival grounds. He said the selected Virgin Islanders to receive repatriations should fall under the indigenous category, adding that these individuals should be placed within the territory's new constitution.
Reparation is a word I want you to remember. Reparation means that whatever we were emancipated from, we will be compensated for. The British government has just finished paying off a loan that they used to pay off the masters of the plantation at the time of emancipation. It is time that they get a new loan for reparations. Reparations shall come to Virgin Islanders who will be here to get it. And I want for the new Constitution review to reflect that. In that new Constitution review, we shall create a new section in the Constitution and establish a new category of person in the Virgin Islands called indigenous Virgin Islanders. Those indigenous Virgin Islanders will be referred to as Dovis, descendants of Virgin Island slaves, and they will be compensated through this reparation for that whatever we were emancipated from.
Minister for Culture, the Honorable Cherie B. De Castro, welcomed the opportunity to once again celebrate the emancipation festivities in person after missing out over the last 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. She also commended Nibs for his achievement in having the village named in his honor.
I want to take this opportunity. I hear the amazing support of your daughters in the audience, and I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge you, Yampi, for the contributions that you have made to these festivities throughout the years. We acknowledge you, we celebrate you, and I believe that this is definitely a befitting honor that's been bestowed upon you, and we look forward to seeing a successful festival in your honor. Over the last 2 years, we have had to celebrate our emancipation virtually, and we are truly happy that this year we're physically able to commemorate this important and historic milestone in our Virgin Islands history. I want to say that I firmly believe that our freedom must consistently be recognized, and that's why I want to take this opportunity to recognize the chairman of the Virgin Islands Festival Affairs Committee, Mr. Dirk Walters, and his entire team for their amazing support and planning. They have had the opportunity over the last few weeks to get in gear and do everything possible to pull off the lineup that we see before us.
His Excellency John Ranking, Governor of the Virgin Islands, said he's looking forward to the cultural festivities. He said it was always his commitment from the commencement of his role as governor to support the respective cultural events in the territory.
And I look forward to attending a number of the events, I hope, over the coming days, the different cultural events, the different events to mark the diversity of the people of this territory and where they have come from and where they are going in the future. And as Governor, it is my commitment from the first day I came here to support the people of the BVI, to support their well-being and welfare, and support the advancement which they wish to continue to make. So I congratulate you, Mr. Chairman, and all the organisers of this event. I join in hoping that it's going to be a great celebration, a safe celebration for all the people of the territory, young and old, who will enjoy these events. And I wish the festival activities of 2022 every success.
Meanwhile, Honorary Mr. Nibbs said the 2022 Emancipation Festival will be a success since it is named in his honor. He thanked all the parties involved in making this year's festival a reality.
This year going to be a good year. I thank the festival committee for honoring me tonight. Anyone in the audience can tell me why this year going to be a good year?
Because the honoring you, Daddy!
That is part of it. But if you don't know the next part, I will tell you.
Okay.
The festival committee named the village after Yankee.
Hello.
That is why this year is a good year. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the village officially open. Yes, I say officially open. You all know it's 4 years. 4 years since we didn't have a carnival. And tonight we have a carnival. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the carnival.
Premier of the Virgin Islands, Dr. the Honorable Natalie D. Wheatley, has made it clear that he did not consult the Speaker of the House of Assembly prior to her recent decision to reject former Premier Andrew Foy's notice of absence request. Premier Wheatley debunked such claims as he backed the Speaker's ability to make decisions on tough matters. He reminded the public that the Speaker's position is one that is and should always be independent of any political party or member in the House of Assembly.
No, I did not consult the Speaker, and it's important to say the Speaker is completely independent. She's independent of myself. She's independent of any political party, and that's part of the reason we wanted to select her, because she doesn't have any known political affiliations, and we wanted to ensure that we had a Speaker that would be straight down the middle, and no even perception of bias. So she used her own judgment with no influence from anyone else. She's a lawyer. She has a legal background. She looked at the standing orders. She looked at, I guess, even where the standing orders were silent, looked at the Constitution, and of course she came to her judgment.
Premier Wheatley also addressed the matter of a possible by-election in the 1st electoral district if Foy is made to vacate his seat. He said if the former Premier does not receive the approval of the Speaker in his notice of absence request after missing 3 sessions of the House of Assembly, Foy's seat will automatically be vacated. Dr. Wheatley said this will trigger a by-election in the 1st district.
We have to look to the standing on orders and also to the Constitution. Okay, there are a number of ways where a member's seat can be vacated, and it's been well publicized that if you miss 3 sittings without having the permission of the Speaker, then the seat will vacate. If the seat vacates, it will trigger a by-election. That's what the Constitution says. And I believe it's within 60 days of the seat becoming vacated. So a by-election under our Constitution must happen if the seat is vacated.
Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mrs. Karine George Masticott, rejected Foy's notice of absence for the 5th, 6th, and future sittings of the House of Assembly. She revealed that the former Premier cited his bail conditions as the reason why he was not able to attend the House of Assembly for the previous 2 sittings. She said while the same reason was cited for the 5th and 6th sitting, the main factor that changed and resulted in her decision not to grant Foy's request was the delaying of his trial from July 18th, 2022 to January 2023. Viewers, up next, departments are still determining their needs to fulfill the COI recommendation, says Premier, and the territory's infrastructure must be kept up to speed, says the Honorable Carvin Malone. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love, life, At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and care? You don't say you were sick? What happened to over the rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. During a recent sitting of the House of Assembly, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley addressed a field of questioning from the opposition surrounding matters of the process of financial and human resource allocation for the fulfillment of the already agreed upon recommendations for the Commission of Inquiry report. On the issue of additional staff requirements and financial commitments to facilitate the hiring process, Premier Wheatley told the House that at this time he could not provide estimates on the required staff numbers or the costs associated with filling the necessary positions at various departments. He did note, however, that funds have been provided to both the Office of the Auditor General and the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force in recent times for the purpose of filling vacant positions.
Madam Speaker, I thank the Territorial at Large opposition member for his question. Madam Speaker, the ministries and departments are still in the process of assessing their needs to complete the fulfillment of the already agreed recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry. Therefore, I'm unable to provide an estimated cost of staff to be recruited. In some instances, Madam Speaker, some departments have requested funding for vacant positions to be filled, while others have assigned existing staff to fulfill some of the duties. In SAP number 1 of 2022, Madam Speaker, the sum of $135,000 was provided for the Office of the Auditor General, while the sum of $484,000 was approved for the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force to fund vacant positions and recruit officers to assist the departments with fulfilling their obligation to implement the COI recommendations.
According to the Premier, the governing bodies for those newly recruited for the processes will be Public Service Commission and the Police Service Commission, though he could not provide a timeline for the completion of the assigned activities for each department. The Premier assured that the territory is still well on track to succeed in implementing the recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry report with the intended 2-year period.
The estimated time to complete the assignments are outlined in the framework for the implementation of the recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry report and other reforms. Ministries and departments are expected to complete the assignments over the next 2 years.
Dr. Wheatley assured residents that as more information on these matters become accessible, it will be made available to the opposition and the public as necessary. During the sitting, the Premier and the Territory at-large representative, the Honorable Malone, agreed that the exchange of this information will keep place outside of the House of Assembly. Territorial at-large representative, the Honorable Malone, believes that while it is all well and good for the territory to promote its tourism product, there is a dire need to ensure that the available infrastructure is up to par. Malone said the need for a proper infrastructure is to facilitate the influx of tourists needing accommodation and engagement while within the territory. Referencing the recent Christmas in July event, Malone said that information reaching him suggests that accommodations in the vicinity were fully booked and that some persons were met with the disappointing news that there were no available rooms to accommodate them during that period. This, he said, suggests that as the territory continues to explore and expand its tourism product, due to consideration must be given to the capabilities and limitations of the existing infrastructure.
Do we have enough, quote-unquote, brand hotels on Tortola itself? Do we need brand hotels? Do we have conference centers so we can then host a number of conferences? We have people who come for the yachting industries and so forth. But if you want a 1,000-person Rotary conference, can you host it? If you want to have the Black Summit on anything, White Summit on anything, Purple Summit on anything, can you host it? If you want to expand your particular airport, so you have international flights, then can you take 2, 3, 4 trips daily with 200-300 persons and have no place to put them? So the infrastructure has to almost go ahead of a well-planned oil machine. Right. So that at the end of the day, if you bring the people in, they have some place to stay.
Malone explained that in realizing the full scope of the territory's tourism framework, which encompasses a wide array of areas of the industry, one must consider the entirety of the visitor experience within the BVI. As such, attention must also be given to the territory's limited tourism sites to ensure that they are well maintained and able to perform their purpose.
If you're going to take the cruise people out, what are they going to see? If you're going to invite your particular yachting industry, you have 18, 20, 30 different places they can go. How are they developed? You have to look at every sector of your tourism product to make sure that what is necessary for each of them to thrive, so that we can then flatten out this high season, low season, no season.
Malone was also speaking on a recently installment of the Honestly Speaking radio show, for which he shared these sentiments. When 284 News returns, one has been charged as inquiries continue into burglaries on Virgin Gorda, and Telecom scavenger hunt winners have been announced. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Officers of the Virgin Gorda Policing Division are progressing, they say, their investigations in identifying the person or persons responsible for the recent upsurge in burglaries in Virgin Gorda. Since June 2022, police have recorded 5 burglaries, mainly of residences on the island. Earlier in the week, Damien Farrell, 30, was identified and charged as the perpetrator in the burglary of one residence where some $4,600 in cash was taken in late June. He was also charged with stealing $1,400 from a parked vehicle in early July. Now, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is asking anyone with information on the identity of the perpetrators to telephone the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force at its 3-digit access number 311 or call the Intelligence Unit at 368-9339. The winners of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission's World Telecommunications and Information Society Day 2022 scavenger hunt have been announced. First prize went to Laverne Varlak and Kia Soros. Anthony and Ronisha Williams were awarded second prize, while third prize went to Wilford and Tasha Todman. The winners received prizes including cash, staycations, tablets, and all for seniors, of course, supermarket vouchers, and phones with unlimited phone plans at a ceremony held on July 17th. Chief Executive Officer Mr. Guy L. Malone congratulated the winners and stated that the Commission has started a chain reaction with the scavenger hunt. He said, and I quote, "The Commission extends its gratitude to our esteemed winners for your participation, for without your support, this would not have been possible." The scavenger hunt focused, he said, on the dedication and hard work and a desire to bridge the generational divide. Of course, Office Supervisor at the Commission, Ms. Joanna Reimer, said the event was hosted in observance of World Telecommunication and Information Society Day, which is globally observed on May 17, and that this year's event was targeted to assist seniors in adapting to technology while connecting with friends and family. Ms. Reimer also said, and I quote, "Entrants were expected to create teams of 2 individuals, with each team consisting of 1 senior. The teams were required to take pictures, solve clues, and answer trivia for a chance to win a prize." The event was also geared at raising awareness of the possibilities of the use of the internet and other information and communication technologies, and bring to societies and economies while bridging the digital gap. The mission of this year's World Telecommunication and Information Society Day is to bridge the generational divide. Of course, we want to wish all the contestants and the winners the very best and congratulate them. Viewers, that is all the time we have today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, of course, sticking with us all week for your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We here at 284 Media, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. I also want to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Friday and an enjoyable festival weekend. Of course, join me on Sunday, every Sunday rather, for your weekly news roundup, in addition to all content posted to our 284media.com website page and all of our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Reporting for 284 News, I'm Ron Grant. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI love.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284 Media.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI love.